Bringing you the voice and vision of custom culture and lifestyle, as seen through the eyes of this South Texas duo. Welcome to the Custom Couple. Welcome, Frankie, to the Custom Couple, take 3. Yeah, for our listeners out there, we've been having a little trouble with my computer on this end. So Frankie has joined us, and we're going to talk about the Kreepers Car Club today. So we're creeping it real. What's going on, Frankie? Doing good. How you guys doing?
Oh, so far, Sam just got off of work, and I've been at home cleaning, so it's kind of gone okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell us about the Kreepers. The last time I talked with you was a few years ago, and I've wanted to get you back onto our show since we started the Custom Couple, and then you just beat me to the punch in becoming a sponsor of ours. So I was like, well, we definitely need to get you back on.
Yeah. Well, it was on Facebook for quite a while, and whenever you guys started posting you were going to do this, I thought it was kind of cool, and then I've been following what you guys been doing and listening to the podcast and stuff, and then whenever you were posting about looking for sponsors, I thought, well, hell, why not? We're not doing any shows or anything right now, but it's, why not help out and, get something going? You guys do kind of a cool thing, and we just thought, why not?
Well, we definitely appreciate that, man. When we started all of this and wanting to do the podcast again, and then when we started doing it, it was like everybody started jumping on board and was really happy for everything that we're doing. And then we were like, okay, well, let's open it up to having sponsors and seeing how that goes. And all of y'all just came out of the woodwork, man, and we couldn't be more happy about it. So tell us a little bit about the Kreepers Car Club and like how it got its start, so all of our listeners can find you on your Facebooks and your Instagrams and such.
Well, so it's Kreepers with a K Car Club on Instagram, and then the same on Facebook. But yeah, so we've been a club for 8 or 9 years, I guess now, and we're just a bunch of weirdos that likes shitty cars and rusted out cars and horror movies and stuff like that, and we just let's see, so like when we started it was just basically 3 of us, and then now there's 5 of us, and it's pretty much because we're so weird and anal about stuff that we don't grow very fast, but we're all kind of a family, which kind of really I think is how it needs to be. If you're going to be a car club, you need to all just enjoy being around each other. If the cars are there or not, you need to be able to just have a good time with everybody. So
yeah, Sam and I actually just had this conversation about we started doing a little segment show, and we were talking about doing a topic of car clubs and the whole like camaraderie behind them and all of that. And that was one of the first things that we were talking about, was the fact that you kind of have to get along with each other.
Right. Well, that's the thing, like once a month I'll get somebody message me or text me or whatever and be like, hey, would like to join the club. And it's like, okay, cool. And then it's like, hey, show up here and let's hang out and this and that. And a lot of people won't show up because they just kind of want a sticker or a T-shirt. They don't want to actually be a family.
Right.
And, that's kind of you need to be. Everybody needs to be just know the other person. It needs to be just like you would sit with your, actual family.
Exactly.
yeah, that's kind of how we've always been. And, you know, like I said, we don't grow very big, but the 5 people in this club, I'm happy if, you know, 20 years from now, it's the same 5 of us.
Yeah, I mean that, you know, that whole quality over quantity, it definitely makes a difference, man.
Right.
So what are you, you know, what are you driving these days?
So I've got my 55 Dodge. It's a custom Royal Lancer is the actual thing, the actual full name of it. But I've had that for about 13 years now, I guess. And it's, you know, it's lowered. It's about 3 inches from the ground, which really, you know, it drags everywhere, which I should be smarter and airbag it or do something. But yeah, shaved handles and trim and stuff like that. And I just actually painted the roof on it a couple months ago, just because I got tired of looking at the white roof, so I decided to flake it.
Really? What color flake did you go with?
So it's like 3 different shades of green, and like I laced a spider web lace in the top of it too. It turned out all right for me, not knowing what I was doing.
That sounds about like 90% of the projects we do with our cars.
Well,
Yeah.
like I'm such a tight ass, so like I've asked people about doing it and stuff, and then I started looking at the price of paint and stuff. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And you know, did it in my 2-car garage, and I mean, it turned out pretty good. You know, I was pretty happy with it. I used Little Daddy Ross stuff, and you know, it was good enough. Like he shared it on his Instagram and Facebook, so I was like, okay, I guess it's good enough.
Well, that's awesome. That's always a compliment when you use somebody's product and then they actually like it so much that they share it as well. I know. Yeah, I know we've shared a lot of things, you know, with like some of like Sam's clothing and things of that nature, and it's always nice when the manufacturers like turn around and share your Instagram posts on their own pages.
Oh, yeah. That's always nice. It's like, damn, I guess I look good for once. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that part. The phone call's probably better. You ain't got to look at my big head and short neck.
That's why we love podcasts.
I basically almost flashed you, but y'all didn't see it good enough. I had to stop myself. I was like, oh, okay. Walked right into the camera. That's great.
We started this, folks. We started this podcast as a video call, and Sam was not ready. So yeah, it was almost amazing.
Yeah, this will not be aired in video.
No, absolutely not. But no, man. Oh man, you're gonna give me the giggles. So you're out of Southern Illinois, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we're just basically on the east side of St. Louis. We're like 25 minutes from St. Louis.
Have y'all ventured out and gone to any of the shows? What's the furthest distance y'all drive as a car club?
So I mean, well, pretty much my car, I've been in every neighboring state. Like, I guess probably the farthest one we've been to as a club together, I think, is Evil Shindig, which is over in Indiana.
Oh, that was just recently too, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just got back from that a couple weeks ago. That turned out to be a giant fiasco. Like, we went there and we built a tiki bar just to take and just drink out of because we're alcoholics. And
I like where this is going.
Yeah, so you know, it was a legit bar, and we built this top. I'll send you a picture of it. It's like we did all vintage nudes on the top of the bar and everything, and we're just setting it up just to drink out of, and people start coming up like, "You guys selling?" We're like, "No, we're not a vendor." And they're like, "Oh, what do you guys got?" And next thing you know, there's a line. So, like, I'm like, "Well, shit, yeah, you know." So I start making drinks back there, and we're like, $5 donations. And by the end of Friday night, we were out of booze, and we had to go buy more.
That was your personal stash too.
I know. Well, that was the thing when we were loading up. He's like, my wife's like, you don't need all that alcohol. I'm like, well, maybe. And then by the end of the Friday night, I'm like, yeah, what were you saying about not needing more booze? I'm like,
oh, that's awesome, man. They didn't get upset that that y'all just showed up and started vending.
Well, so yeah, like we kept seeing them drive by on their golf carts, and we're like, fuck, we're gonna get in trouble. So we ended up donating everything to them because they give all their money to the Shriners.
Oh, nice.
So we're like, well, we'll just give them the money because we were just gonna get drunk anyway. So, you know.
Hey, that works, man. That works.
Yeah, instead we got drunk and then paid for our booze. So, you know.
Yeah, I remember a few years that we would go to Lone Star Roundup, and on the property down where they have the car show here, they have a whole list of rules of things that you can't do on the property, and I think one year we were cooking. We had like one of those little like campfire kind of deals going, and we were cooking a bunch of meat and they came by and almost damn near kicked us out of that car show just for that. So I can't imagine showing up to a place and just start selling booze.
Yeah. Well, that was not the intention, but yeah, I mean, because we're like, well, we're going to give you guys all the money. They seem cool about it, you know, and actually, like, the guy that was running it, his daughter came by a couple times and got stuff from us, and then some of the Shriner guys came by. So like, well, I guess they're okay with it. So,
man, that's really cool. So y'all went down to Evil Shindig. What other of the bigger shows happen in y'all's area?
So, well, I mean, I don't know what's left after the last year and a half or so.
Oh, but, I know. Yeah, we've kind of lost a few shows as well here.
But yeah, we used to do like the racetrack. It's a Worldwide Technology Raceway or whatever I think it's called now. They used to do this nostalgia drags that the Decent Boys, Dennis Menace and Barbara Drow and them, they were all part of that. And that was always a good time because that was always nothing but like 72 and older cars racing all weekend, plus the car show and everything.
Hell yeah.
And, I mean, that was always a good time. It was always hot as hell, but it was a good time.
Yeah, and those are some good guys to be hanging out with too, man. For one, we love Joe. He's been on the show. And Menace will be on the show at some point, but he also jumped on as a sponsor for us as well. So it's like, man, like I can't appreciate that even enough because I've gotten so much love out of the St. Louis area, and it just carried right over into me and Sam's project with with the Custom Couple, and that's been really awesome. So I would love to get back up there, let Sam meet some of y'all in person.
Yeah, them guys, like the Decent Boys, I would say, what we call them our creeper cousins. And
it's better than the kissing cousins.
Yeah, well, I mean, you haven't met Uncle Touchy, but
I think we talked about Uncle Touchy on the last podcast.
We might have. Yeah, I won't say his real name, but yeah, he's one of our members. He drives Volkswagen stuff, and he loves hugs.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Touchy.
Yeah, I think he's in Colorado working right now, so he's out there making money.
Hey, there you go. If you got to be anywhere making money, Colorado's not too bad as far as the weather's concerned. It's actually
He called me the other day and we were talking, and he's in a t-shirt and shorts, and I was standing there in a freaking hoodie freezing my ass off. So.
And we're down here in Texas sweating our ass off because it can't decide what it's going to be today.
No, it starts off cold in the morning, and then it's like, you know what, now we're going to get hot again. We're going to make you regret wearing a fucking sweater.
Yeah, this is the worst time of the year right now because, like, I think we're getting frost tonight, but yet tomorrow afternoon it's going to be like 60-something.
Oh, man. Yeah, yeah. When you can't decide what to wear because the weather's just going to change on you in a heartbeat, that always sucks.
Yeah, and I work outside, so it really sucks because you're always carrying 400 different things to wear, and then you're trying to figure out what to do with them when it gets hot.
Yeah, so you have to have a vehicle that can carry your wardrobe.
Right. Yeah, all my toolboxes are just full of clothes.
Right? All I need is a hammer and a screwdriver. The rest of this is just clothes. I love it.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all got next now that Evil Shindig is behind us? Like you said, you're getting into your winter months up there. So, are y'all gonna go into hibernation and work on any projects, or do you have any shows left over?
Yeah, I think the last show just kind of happened. I think it was out at what was that called, like Wrench Fest or something. It's kind of a rat rod show. I think it just happened over the weekend. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the year. So we're gonna, like Andy, our vice president, he's blowing apart his '59 Plymouth. So we're gonna do floor pans, and I think we're gonna pull the poly out and work on that. So that's kind of the winter plan. Dude,
I miss my '59.
Yeah, that car is sweet, man. Like, he, tell you what, when you come up here, you need to see his shop. Like, it's nothing but forward look cars.
Really?
Like, 57 to 61 Plymouth everywhere.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so nice.
that's definitely some of our favorite.
Our first car together was a 60 Plymouth.
Yeah. So Sam and I, when we first decided we were going to get into buying cars together, we bought a 60 Plymouth, and it had the slant six in it. Before that, I had a 59 Plymouth with the poly in it. Oh, I love that poly 318. It's really hard to beat them up. I love those engines.
Yeah, they are bulletproof engines, and realistically, they're still using them today. They just kind of call them a Hemi now, but if you ever blow a new Hemi apart, it's actually a poly.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I remember. I mean, this was several years ago. To get into the Hemi registry, you had to prove that you were driving a car with a Hemi in it, but they were allowing people to register their cars, that had poly engines in them, because they're basically the same. I know there's slight differences, and Mopar people would just rip me apart for saying that, but no, there's a there's a true love when it comes to that whole Mopar or no car culture. We would absolutely love to see his shop if that's what's going on up there, because it's all about big fins.
Duh. That's all I ever had. I've never had a little fast car. It's always been big fins. I like boat cars. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, Sam loves a giant boat driving down the expressway here.
Low and slow.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've had fast cars and I tear them up. I've kind of just come to realize that big cars are just the way to go.
It's just fun to cruise, just get in and just drive, relax, not be all tense, and it is fun to like rip up the streets every now and then, but at the same time, it's just fun to cruise.
I don't even care if I break down. I still look cool as shit when I do.
Right.
People are still like, damn, that's a fucking cool ass car.
That's a cool ass car on the side of the road.
Yeah, I've been there too. So you get honks and waves, and you're like, they're like, nice car. It's like, thanks, it's broke.
Yeah, it's broken
Thanks.
right now, but thank you for making me feel better about myself right now.
It looks great in pictures.
Yeah.
No, it's like those people running when parked.
Running when parked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've suckered myself into buying a few of them.
Oh yeah. No, we all have.
That was the Plymouth that we went to go get. It was like, oh yeah, it runs and drives, it starts, it's automatic. First thing we did when we opened the door was like, there's 3 pedals down there.
That is not automatic.
And then it was like, oh, I can turn it on. It was like, let me grab these 2 wires and let me throw gas right there, and it'll spark. It's like, not how I remember how cars start, but all right.
all the red flags of don't buy this car.
And we bought it.
We were like, no, that's not a deal breaker. No brakes, not a deal breaker.
Oh yeah, yeah. No brakes. You don't need brakes. That just means you're going to quit and you're going to stop.
Yeah, we ain't stopping. I'm going through that wall. Oh man, for all y'all out there, if you've never had to deal with Plymouth brakes, they're terrible. The front brakes on any Mopar is just absolutely garbage and terrible, but we still love them.
Four wheel cylinders just in the front end.
Yes. Yeah, those two little half cylinders in the front brakes are terrible. I broke into the first Plymouth I owned. I opened up the drum on it, and there they are. I'm like, I'm not doing this. We swapped all of it out and put disc brakes.
Oh yeah, that's what I did on mine. Yeah, like before I bought my 55, I only had like 60s cars, and when I bought that, I lost we were coming back from the drive-in or something, and I lost all my brakes, and I blew a line. I was like, well, shit. And so, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go through them, and pulled that front drum off, and I was like, this looks weird.
Yeah, and don't you dare take both of them off, because you need the other side for a reference.
Yeah. So I scoured the internet and was like, I need disc brakes. I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm not putting that back together. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Frankie, what got you into cars in the first place, man? Did you grow up doing all this?
Yeah, sort of. Like, my dad was always a car guy. He always had Chargers and Barracudas and, 60s and 70s muscle cars. And so, I always had that around. And actually, my first car I drove in high school was a 73 Charger. And, it was a giant piece of shit, but it was, you still look cool because everybody else is driving, Cherokees and, Rangers and shit like that, and you're driving a Charger.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was a giant piece of shit. But, yeah, so I always had that around. And then actually my wife's grandpa, like when we were dating, she introduced me to her family, and me and him was talking. I had a 72 Chrysler New Yorker then. And me and him was kind of talking, and he showed me his car, and he had a 65 Falcon, which we now have. And we were just kind of talking about shit, and he was telling me about when he was a kid, and that just kind of hit where I was like, I want to build old, like 40s, 50s stuff,
Yeah.
Like he was the old school greaser, from the middle of nowhere kind of kid, and I just thought it was cool shit. So I was like 20 or 21. I was like, yep, muscle cars are gone. I'm building old shit.
There's nothing wrong with muscle. We've never owned any muscle cars. I guess the forward look, like the early 60s, like Plymouths were like the beginning stages of what you would consider a muscle car.
We don't mind them. We just will never own one ever in life. I'm stuck between 59 and 60 cars. I've noticed this now. We had the 60 Plymouth, my 60 Thunderbird, and now I have a 59 Buick. I just can't get away from those years. Those are my favorite. Those are the two favorites. I don't ever go any earlier or later.
Yeah, right there, they built a lot of beautiful cars in 59, 60, Cadillac, Plymouth, Imperial, all that was, Buicks. They were building beautiful cars.
All those damn fins. That's what hooked me.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
One of my favorite little like cartoon drawings, I always post it up once in a while. I think it was out of like Life magazine or something. And it's the neighbor looking over the fence, and he sees his neighbor with a hacksaw cutting holes in his garage so he can fit the fins in.
Yep, I know that one. I always just assumed by looking at the fins, I'm like, he's getting a 58 or something Plymouth. Like, it just looked like
right.
A Plymouth. But no, I know that one. But I'll be honest, I'd I'd still take a 69 Charger if somebody wanted to give me one. But
oh yeah, any day of the week.
I mean, we all watched orange Chargers fly through the air. I thought that was badass.
I know, and I loved when they tried to get rid of them too. Was that a few years ago, and they were canceling everything?
Oh yeah.
I went and found all the model, the AMT model cars that I possibly could find that still had them. I was like, I'm gonna get a horde of these because they'll be worth something once all this gets canceled.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there's a local hobby shop that like put them on discount, and I'm like, yank.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought them, and I remember I took them to a swap meet, and people were paying stupid money because they're like, oh, we can't find these no more.
Yeah, and you won't now for sure. You won't now for sure. My buddy Abe, he's got a 68 Charger that he still drives, and he drives it to work several days out of the week too. But I mean, I just love those. When it comes to a muscle car, I wouldn't mind a Charger. I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd take one. You know, I always thought them were cool, but you know, they're like $70,000 anymore. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they're a little expensive. What did your dad send us today? What?
A Plymouth, a 1970 Plymouth GTX.
70 GTX. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Her dad sent us a picture, and it has a little for sale sign on it. And I sent him a message back. I said, Mopar will break your heart and your pocketbook.
Oh yeah. Yeah, them GTXs are fast though.
Yeah. There was a GTX parked down the street from my work for like the longest time, and it was sitting at a body shop. And when they finally finished it, it was this beautiful green car with a black roof. I mean, they did an immaculate job on it. I definitely have an appreciation for those. But yeah, let's get off of muscle cars.
Yeah.
Our listeners are like, this is supposed to be the custom couple, not the Mopar dreaming couple. That's hilarious. Yeah. You know what, folks? If you don't like it, well then write in, because I could definitely use the messages in my inbox.
No.
I will say, I mean, custom stuff like Mopar in the late '60s was doing some crazy ass shit. You know, you could get a floral pattern vinyl top in the '60s.
Oh,
I will say that. But yeah.
So how many cars do you have?
That the government knows about, or
that are in your name? No.
No, we don't care about that.
or that my wife knows about. There's, I don't know how to answer that.
A question on top of a question.
I like this. I like where that's going. Hidden cars around the world.
As far as the government knows about, I guess I own 2. But like actually, it just kind of worked out this way. My 55 is actually legally hers, just because I wasn't available that day whenever I needed to get it put in, you know, get a title transfer. But we own 4 vintage cars technically, but like I said, the government knows about like 2 of them. So,
The government doesn't know about any of ours.
Yeah. Some guy in Tennessee owns mine.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Even if the government's listening, Frankie's not my real name, so they can't trace me. So.
I love it. By the end of this episode, we're all going to be wearing aluminum foil hats.
Yeah.
The government's listening. They're just not giving a shit today. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I ain't got enough going on for them to bother with me. But yeah. But no, so we've got, yeah, like I said, we've got probably, I think, four vintage ones. Yeah, we've got my 55 Dodge. We got her grandpa's 65 Falcon. And then we've got a Model A, Model T / build kind of going on. And then actually it's my truck, and it was Barber Joe's truck, and then now my truck again, 53 Dodge. So,
man, I saw that Dodge when I was in St. Louis a few years ago, and Joe and B-Rad took me out for a drink, but we went out and hung out in Joe's garage for a little bit. Man, that 53 is freaking cool. I'm very eager to see you get that one on the road.
Yeah, like that truck there. So it was like a 1.5 ton big ass flatbed truck when I bought it, and then I built a frame. It's got like a Dakota, some 90s Dakota front clip under it, and then I kind of lost interest, and I sold it to a buddy, and I bought it back from a buddy, and then I sold it to Barber Joe, and then when Joe was moving, he wanted to get rid of it because he had another car and stuff, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm buying it back. And so now it's taking up space in my garage, and me and her was talking about it the other day. I was like, well, maybe I'll get rid of this truck again. She's like, no, this truck ain't fucking going nowhere. I'm tired of moving.
I'm tired of moving it.
Yeah, we're gonna finish it, I guess, eventually. So.
Get it to where it moves under its own power. You don't have to move it.
That's what I've been kind of focusing on, because I've got it mounted to the frame and everything. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to build a motor so at least if I move it, it moves itself.
Right.
So yeah, I'm building a hot rodded 318 for it.
Oh, really? Like the LA 318?
Yeah, the LA, just because I don't know, I can't really find cams or they're kind of getting hard to buy stuff for.
Right, yeah. Plus, if you can get a 318 and then put a 727 on the back of it, it's kind of hard to beat that combination.
Oh yeah, 727's like, I mean, that's a bulletproof transmission.
Yeah, 100%.
But
what other cars are cruising in the Kreepers Car Club right now?
So
besides Uncle Touchy's, besides his Volkswagen stuff.
Yeah, so Andy, he's got his Plymouth, and actually he's building a 50. It's like a turtleback or something. I call it a fastback Plymouth with a hot rodded flathead 6 in it.
Wow.
And it's got Edmund intake and everything on it. Running two carbs on there, and then we call her Gam Gam, Erica, because we've got women in our club. She's got a 55. She calls it the unfair lane because every time she tries to take it out, it like breaks down. So it's just.
We know your problems there. We know the hurt that goes along with that. Trust us. We do know that.
Yeah. Well, she's like me. Like, she decided to make it so freaking low that it drags everywhere, and so I guess it scrapes shit all the time. It's always broke down. But yeah. So she's got her 55 Fairlane with the Y block in it, which we just put that motor in a couple of years ago, I think. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very cool. I will definitely need to get some pictures of all y'all's rides, so when we do the promotions for this podcast, we can share to the world what y'all have got going on in the Kreepers Car Club. Again, we really appreciate y'all jumping on and sponsoring our show. So hopefully we can start planning some trips and start traveling this next year, and we might have some bigger things that allow us to do so. Maybe we need to make another trip back to St. Louis. I've already told Joe a couple times, and I told Menace too. We're gonna need to come up there and make probably a week of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in St. Louis as long as you don't get shot.
That's what I told Joe. Murder capital of the world.
Hey, it's well deserved here. I will say that. But no, man, there's a lot of cool stuff to do here, and like, man, just even looking at Menace's art studio, like that dude, like Menace, I consider Menace one of my good friends. That guy has got some of the coolest shit, and he's always drawing the coolest shit.
Oh, I know.
So, like I don't know if I could even talk about anything, but like he's always drawing just cool ass stuff, you know, and he knows so many people and knows so much musical background to stuff. He's an awesome dude.
I know, man. We're going to have him on the show. He's an aircraft mechanic like I am, and our schedules don't always line up very well. And I think the last time I talked to him, he was working night shifts again. So,
oh yeah.
So we're gonna try to line up a interview with him whenever we can get a free weekend to do so. But I've talked to him on the phone so many times, and then of course when I went up there for the Hooligans show, finally got to meet him in person, and then they turned me into a greasy shark, and that was it, man.
Yeah, and your armpits hurt for a week after.
Exactly. And they never smelled the same afterwards.
That's correct. Tell you what, so I've also got that tattoo on me.
Nice.
And that was a drunken weekend that everybody's like, "Come here and take your shirt off." It's like, okay.
Exactly.
And then next thing you know, yeah, you're like, "What the fuck? Like, why did you do that?"
Yeah. What sucks though is I can't say that I was drunk. I was dead sober, and they were like, "We're gonna do this," and I was like, "Shit, I make terrible decisions all the time. Let's go for it."
Yeah.
Was that the show that you were telling everyone to drink Malort?
Oh yes.
I was gonna say, I was like, no, I remember your terrible decision. You were recording everyone drinking Malort.
Yeah. So,
oh yeah. I don't touch that stuff.
What's funny is nobody in Texas knows about it.
Dude, you go north of here, you find the weirdest shit. Like,
I love giving people Malort now.
Oh yeah, we've got some Chicago friends. We'll go up there for a couple shows up there in Chicago, and like they're drinking like Blatt's beer.
Oh my God, I used to. There was a liquor store down the street from us that had Blatt's. When I lived in downtown San Antonio, it was absolutely terrible beer. But I remember I had a beer opener, the can opener, the old style can opener. That was a Blatt's beer. Man, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Oh yeah, and we went to Wisconsin for something. I don't remember what show that was, and we're up there and everybody's drinking this stuff called Points. And I was like, all right, you know, because you can't really find like Anheuser-Busch stuff there. And, like, it tasted like cheese.
Really?
Like, what is this garbage? Like, it was horrible.
Oh, man. Folks, if you're listening to this still, write in with the most terrible drink you've ever had in your life. I would love to hear about it so I can stay away from it.
Rumplemint.
Oh, God, no.
That was my worst decision.
God, no.
Yeah, I haven't had that one.
Don't. You'll regret it.
Yeah, it's very minty, and it tastes just the same when it comes back up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Phil, if you ever want a hankering to drink toothpaste, drink that. It's like in theory, it doesn't feel like a bad one, but when it comes back up, oh, it feels bad.
So, you ever brushed your teeth after drinking orange juice?
Exactly.
Good.
Oh man, this has gone into a terrible train wreck.
Horrible decisions all around.
Yeah. Horrible decisions always have really good stories, though.
I can't deny that. Yeah.
That's how I learned that I could carry you on my back.
Yeah. So Sam can carry me, all 200 pounds of me, while she's wearing heels, and we've discovered this. We didn't try to discover this, but we have discovered this.
When you got to, we have wonderful friends that like to get you drunk and then you don't know how to walk. So I had to see if I can bench press my husband. I can. You just have dragging feet because, I'm only 5'4" and you're 6'2".
Yeah, that's got to be probably like the mom thing or something because, like, you guys can carry, you know, a kid on your hip and then still walk in 6-inch hills. I'll hand it to you.
She can. She has proven this a few times, more times than I would like to admit. It's almost become a sideshow.
It's kind of fun. Everybody's like really expecting it every time now. They're like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "It's not like it's a one trick thing. I can do it whenever." But it's more fun when they see it and they're like, "Oh." They're like, he looks all lanky, just hanging over. He looks like he's like floating because you don't see me at all.
Yeah, I'm just legs dragging. I'm completely unaware of my surroundings.
There should be video of this.
There's a picture of it.
I think there's pictures of it.
Johnny got a picture of it. I remember.
We'll have to find it and send it to you. We'll find it and we'll post it all over our pages
so everybody can
so
see
everybody
this.
can see this. It's hilarious.
There you go.
So my wonderful friends love to buy me drinks, and then they love to get onto the internet and
ask
get
people.
other people to buy me drinks.
And people do it. That's how you've met most people nowadays, is that they're like, "I bought you a drink through so-and-so." It's like, great.
I mean, it's free drinks. You can't argue with it.
No, of course not. And that's how we met one of our sponsors too, Phoenix Insurance. Shout out to Phoenix Insurance. I met Justin Hussman from him buying me drinks through Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, every time we go out with a certain couple that we're friends with, like we'll buy my buddy's wife beer. Like she can drink vodka all night and be fine, but if you feed her beer, she gets 4 or 5 in. All of a sudden, she just will like take her top off and run around like a crazy woman. So everybody will buy her beer just because wants like this happen. Are you going to just say no, I'm done, or what? And it's just kind of like a sideshow.
Oh man, I love it. You know, you're going to tune into the Custom Couple podcast, and we're going to talk to you about how we make terrible decisions when we drink.
No, this weekend people will see may or may not see terrible decisions.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, no, this week. Well, when this podcast airs, it will be last weekend, and we will tell them all about the terrible decisions that you made for your birthday.
Yay!
So,
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. No, our friends, so we have this terrible thing of like our friends, they've never seen me drunk because I can drink like tanks of alcohol and be totally fine and wake up at 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning and be like, let's go get breakfast. Let's go work out. Let's go do this. And he's like, no.
no,
I'm like, fuck. So everyone has been determined every so often that we go out, they'll like buy me like mixed drinks, mixed shots, and I'm like, I'm fine, guys. This is great. Thank you, though.
Yeah, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Like, I have that next day hangover now.
Oh, I learned that one really bad this year. I was like, for my birthday this year, I decided I was going to buy myself no more drinks ever again. But yeah, Sam puts them away. I mean, she puts them away quicker than a liquor store clerk could put them away. I guarantee that. What's funny though is like you never tell when she's drunk. You're like the only tell she has is that she kind of looks high. Like she's like, I'm good. And then she wants and burgers.
Food. No, it has to be tacos and queso. That's when I start asking for food, that's when I'm gone.
Yeah.
You can't tell at all. But when I'm like, hey, we got food.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
there's nothing better than food after drinking all night.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I hate Denny's, but at 3 in the morning, Denny's is the best kind of thing in the world.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of Denny's around where we're at. Like we have a few. It's not uncommon, but for late night food here, like we have a few burger places that we'll hit up, and then there's a couple taco stands that they're not open all week, but they're only open 24 hours on the weekends. Mm-hmm. So
it's because they know.
Yeah, because that's when they get all their business. So, but yeah, if you ever see Sam drunk, you're going to really think that she just smoked a bunch of pot.
Yes.
And she hadn't. Like, she's just been drinking all night.
Yeah. I haven't reached that crazy point yet. I'm just kind of more chill. I'm like, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, her eyes are like half closed. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm just gonna go to bed real quick. It's fine. It's fine.
Man, here in Illinois, you don't ever know anymore because they legalized it here now. So you might be talking to somebody that's high, or they might be drunk. You don't know.
We haven't gotten it legalized here in Texas yet, but I feel that it's going to at some point. Like, it just kind of has to. I think that's not a political view. That's just kind of like it's just kind of common sense. It's just, everybody's kind of fallen into that. It's not so bad anymore. Go ahead and legalize it. So we might have it at some point.
And there's a lot of revenue for the states too. I mean, it's helped a lot of them out of debt. But
well, I mean, isn't that? I mean, I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think that's what Canada did originally, like back when they decided that it wasn't that bad. It was like, well, shit, we'll just legalize it and tax the hell out of it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, why not? It's better for you than smoking, I guess. Cigarettes.
Right? Yeah. And there's so many options for it too. Like, you don't even have to smoke it. Like, you can get all the benefits from it without even doing that. But we're gonna get so many letters into the custom couple going, why the fuck aren't you talking about cars?
Because we like to have fun.
So shout out to Matt DeFeedy. I know you're gonna be the first one to text me. But Frankie, we're gonna let you go, man. Is there anybody that you would like to give some shout outs to? Give them their spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, all my club brothers and sisters, Uncle, Andy, Gam, Val, and then, I guess we were talking about them. We'll just say, Menace, and I'll give Dan Johnson a shout out too. He striped the top of my car after I painted it. So
hell yeah, that's another cool cat for sure.
He's a good dude. Yeah. Him and his wife. His wife is a really nice lady. Like, I've never heard anything bad said from her. So, like, they're good people.
Yeah, they were super sweet to meet. And I love the fact that Dan also jumped on here with both of his businesses as a sponsor. So, for real, thank you, Dan Johnson, man. All right, folks. Well, you know what comes next. So, in all things custom, keep it cool.
Bing, bang, boom. See you next Tuesday.
Don't say see you next Tuesday.
I can poop anywhere.
We know.